Yo, what is up, you guys? It is the start of the 2026 season. I'm in my new garage that I just remodeled over the winter time. I had a little bit extra time other than the snowstorms that we've had. But check this out. And this video is not really about this garage, but I just gotta show y'all real quick what this looks like. Epoxy floors, hex lighting, painted the walls black. I mean, this was just a very basic garage, you know, plywood, average lighting, just basic concrete floors, and we took it up to a new level. Got the Milwaukee pack out. But yeah, ready to hit the ground running this year. Last week of February it is. I can smell the grass almost starting to grow. We got about 3 weeks here in Kentucky. Typically last week of March is when we start mowing, and then we'll do landscaping stuff up until that point. But anyways, this video is going to be geared more towards the software that I use, which is Jobber. I'm gonna run down the basics of it. And it is a CRM, which sounds like a big word, customer relationship management. And ultimately what that really is that is a software that just keeps you organized, and keeps you on schedule, keeps everything centrally located, your customers' information. You can send invoices, quotes, schedule a job, and your employees can see that on their end. So they stay organized as well. So they're not missing jobs, and they can see all the details that you allow them to see. So we're gonna jump into that and talk about the basics of Jobber. So first, a little background on me and my business. If a lot of you guys who do not know my backstory is my dad had a lawn care business growing up, and he started it before I was even born, and I'm 31 years old this year. So of course, you know, back in the day, they kind of ran everything based on pen and paper. And then about 5 years ago, a couple of years into me coming into the business fully, it was time to bring it to the modern age. So we implemented Jobber, which is the software that we use to stay organized, the CRM, if you will. Whole purpose of that is to, 1, stay organized, 2, look more professional, and really 3, save time. So, and it does all those things and a lot more, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. You know, it's not just tailored for lawn care businesses, it's any home service businesses, whether it's HVAC or cleaning, even concrete guys I know use it, painters, any service-based business that you can think of can benefit from using Jobber. And Jobber is, I like to categorize it as the iPhone of home service softwares. It's just easy to use, they get great customer service. It's just simple and easy, and that's the best way for me to describe it. Some of the problems that home service businesses that I hear often just being online is, you know, a lot of times they'd rather work with their hands than stand behind a computer desk, and that might not be the case for everybody, but for a lot of them, that is the case, especially me. I like to work with my hands. I don't want to be stuck behind a desk doing admin and paperwork all day, so that's why Jobber helps us out with that. You know, maybe you're out working, you miss calls, they got an AI receptionist, which we're not gonna get into in this video, but they do have that. Scheduling, it's like a set it and forget it kind of thing. That way, every single week with a recurring services like lawn care service, you're not having to go in each week and put these jobs in. They're already in there and they're ready to go for the rest of the year, depending on how long you have those scheduled out for. You know, some people struggle with slow payments. Jobber has payment systems in there, which you don't necessarily have to use, but it is available. You know, card on file, you hear a lot of people talking about that these days. I mean, it's big, you know, it helps the cash flow, keeps the money coming in to hit payroll, hit equipment expenses or repairs, or, you know, buy new equipment. You know, the list kind of goes on with that, with the cash flow thing. So how Jobber can help, you collect the customer's information and it stores it in there. That way you can always go back to it. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. And the first thing we're gonna do is show just the homepage of Jobber. So let me get that going real quick. On the home screen, you can see, you know, the requests that you have coming in, any quotes that have been approved, jobs that require invoices, and then, you know, payments that you are awaiting. You can see that right here. And this is the dashboard controls on your left side of the screen. So you can hit schedule, which I'm trying not to show too much of my customers' information. I got it in like trial mode, so I don't disclose any of their personal stuff. You got clients, you got requests, quotes, jobs, invoices, and then there's some marketing suites on the higher up, paid subscriptions. We're just gonna stick with these pretty much right here. So for example, somebody calls you or you're out in the field, a customer comes up, they want to get work done. You can easily collect their information. The first thing I would do is hit create client. So right here you put in the person's name. We're gonna say John. Last name, we'll say Doe. And if company name, let's say it's a business or a commercial site, you put in the company name right here, you know, XYZ Property Management, whatever it is, or Plaza, or Church, whatever it is. You put the company name right there. Gather the info, phone number, which we'll use a generic one. Boom. Email, we'll call this person John Doe at jobber.com. So collect their information, whether it's be email, and then you can do a marketing campaign later down the line and send out a mass marketing campaign to everybody's email that you have, or text message. Here you can see how they found you, whether it's existing clients, word of mouth, Facebook, flyers, Google, Instagram, or you can add new lead sources as well and kind of customize that field. We'll leave it blank for now. Additional customer details, so you can add custom fields. So down here, we'll go down to the property address. Again, quickly just type in just a generic email or a generic address. We're just gonna do this, Strawberry Lane. City, Louisville, Kentucky, KY, 402-111. It's random, okay. Tax, this is important. Here in Kentucky, we have a 6% sales tax that we have to apply it to any labor that we do. And that was a new thing that they did a few years back, so it's nice to be able to add this. So you can change it, or if it's a church, you can exempt them from tax or create a new tax rate right there. I'm gonna leave it at 6% because that's what it is for here. Property details, you can see here I've created some custom fields. For one, I made it like a small mower for the backyard, or the payment method that they use. And you can customize these as well for any kind of fields that you want to customize yourself. All right, save clients. No thanks. All right, here you have the customer profile. So you see their name, it's a lead, it's not necessarily a customer yet, and you can add a new property. So let's say it's somebody who has multiple properties. So you can add several properties under the same person or under the same account, whether it's commercial or residential. Get the tags over here. Billing history, there's nothing that we billed them yet because they're a new customer. Contact info, active work, which there's nothing there. Schedule, which they're not on the schedule yet, but you can see how you can cycle through all these different options and see all the information right here at the central location. So now we are going to create a quote for them. Create new quote. So the quote for this, we're gonna call it lawn service / mowing. Okay. Salesperson, that's me. You can adjust that as well. Services, you can see these predetermined ones, which I already have set up because these are the main services that we offer. We're gonna go with mowing. And you can see it automatically populates a description, which you can adjust all of this in the settings over here and create those customizable. So this is gonna be a very basic yard. It's in a neighborhood. We're gonna call it a $55 yard. Boom. See, it's $55 right there. And if you need to add other services, you just add line items right there. And then we'll scroll down. You can see the 6% sales tax, $3.33, which is right. Add a deposit or a payment schedule. We're not gonna mess with that, but that is an option. And then disclaimers, this is automatic. I automatically have this set up, and you can, again, customize this as well. Any notes, so this notes feature right here is going to be internal only. The customer's not gonna see this. Let's say you got something that you want your guys who are servicing the property to know. So watch out for a dog in the backyard, or knock on the door, or trim around this thing in the backyard, or don't trim this area. You can add any kind of specific notes that you want your team to know when they go to the property. So we're gonna save the quote. So we got the quote, it's a draft, you can see right here, and you could send this to the customer for them to approve it. You can send it as text, or you can send it as an email, or you can go ahead and mark it as approved, whether they approve it or not. Maybe they're an older person, they're not really technically savvy, so they just give you the okay verbally. So we are going to convert this to a job. And this is where you're gonna put it in the schedule. So new job, it has all their information right here. job number, and we're gonna go down here. So job type, this is important. One-off or recurring. So one-off is gonna be like project-based stuff. Think of landscape jobs, maybe bush trimming or retaining wall install or mulch installs, anything like that. One-off jobs, project-based jobs. This is lawn care and mowing, so it's gonna be a recurring service. So we're gonna put it right there. You can select the start date. So for us in Kentucky, we like to start in the last week of March. So typically I will do, for example, here I'll do the 23rd of March, because I'm guessing that's when the mowing season is going to start. It fluctuates each year, but for right now, we're going to go with the 30th. Weekly on Monday. So it's a weekly customer, and you already know what day that you're going to be servicing them. You put that here. If they're bi-weekly, every 2 weeks right there. Or maybe one time a month, monthly on the 30th. Or as needed, which I don't like to do as needed mowing customers, but some people, maybe they do. You select that right there, or you can customize it. Let's see what the customize. So, every week on Monday, hit that. Every week on Tuesday, and so on and so forth. Every week on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. However you want to customize it, however you want to get them on the schedule, that's how you set it. So for now, we'll do them every week on Mondays and save. So down here, ends after 6 months. So for me, I know that we cut grass usually until the end of October, and then the leaf season starts. So I will do this until the end of October, which will be 8 months. After 8 months, or you can do ends on a specific date, which you can select here. So we'll go to ends on the 31st of October. Either way, I usually do it this way, ends after 8 months. Down here, this is important. Billing and automatic payments. Let's say you do like subscription-based payments. You might want to do fixed price, so it's the same price each month. I do a per cut billing cycle, so I do it visit-based, so we're going to leave it right there. And invoice frequency, I always invoice the last day of the month. So it already has it set up. You can, again, customize that to however you want to do it. Maybe it's after each visit is completed, once the job is closed, or you can customize it. But for me, I'm going to leave it on the last day of the month. As you can see, it has the mowing services right there on the line item, the price per cut, any descriptions describing the service that you're offering is right there. And then you come down here, any notes, like we said, we're going to save that job. All right, so it's upcoming. It's been put into the schedule. It's upcoming, and we're going to see what that looks like real quick. So now we are going to go to our schedule, and we're going to scroll down to, I think I put it on March. Yeah, it's right there. Boom, March 30th. And as you can see, it's every single Monday for 8 months. You see it boom, 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 all through April, all through May, all through the rest of the month. So we're going to go back to the first day. So here, let's say you assign it. It's unassigned right now, so we're going to assign this to a team. And I have myself, my dad, and then we got the 3 trucks that we run. So we're going to assign it to truck 1 right there. Or you can assign it to 2 trucks. Maybe you want 2 crews going to that specific job. Assign it to both of those crews, or all 3. Maybe it's a big commercial. We'll assign it to truck 1 for now, and save. Save and update future visits as well. So you don't want to just save it. Let's say you want to assign it to truck 1 for the whole year. Don't hit save and update future visits. So that way it updates every single job throughout the year to truck 1. Because if you hit just save, it's just going to update March 30th visit. So just that one time. So we're going to save and update for all future visits. Boom. Assign to truck E, yep, update future visits. So as you can see right here, it's blue now because I color-coded truck 1 to be blue. Truck 2 is gray, I think, and truck 3 is red. So that way when I got a full schedule, they're all not the same color. I can see which, blue being truck 1, gray being truck 2, and red being truck 3. I can kind of see it easier on my end on how much they've gotten done or what jobs they're doing. Here's another big thing. Let's say customer cancels, right? You can go over here, or they want you to come a day later because they got some work going on. You can click and drag these to a different day, each visit. It's not gonna do every single visit, but this specific visit that was on the 30th, you wanna drag it to the 31st or the 1st. Maybe it rained, you couldn't get it in that day. So you quickly move it over. And obviously if you have several routes, you're gonna have 50, 100 each day. And you wanna move all of those over without doing them individually. This is a cool feature. More actions, move visits. So this is a way to bulk move all your visits. So visits that are on, let's say March 30th, we are gonna move those to March 31st. So it moves every single visit that is on that day to the next day, which is nice. So you don't have to click and drag every single one. We're gonna say move visits, boom. You can see how it moved all these visits down here. Pretty neat. And let's say you don't know when you're gonna get back to them. You can drag it over here and hit unscheduled. And then at some point you can reschedule it for that week. For now, let's put it back on the 30th. So now that, let's say 30th is here, you guys went out there and did the service. On their phone, they'll see the job, the location, the date, and they'll be able to mark it complete once they're done. So I'm gonna act like I'm that crew. We're gonna mark it complete. Again, they can do this on their phone. You don't have to be at the desktop. And you can see how it puts a little line through that job, marking it as complete, which is nice. All right, now we are at the job, which is upcoming, and we already marked it complete for the first one. So we're gonna scroll down here to visits. And because I already marked that first one complete, it has erased that one, or has put that one away. So now you can see all the visits that are upcoming, as I said, every Monday throughout the whole year. And if you need to add a new visit, you can do that right here by clicking that, add a new visit, which is just gonna be a one-time thing. We're not gonna add a new visit, I'm just showing you that feature. Down to billing, upcoming, rendered services. We're gonna create an invoice. Next step, boom. And you can also automate this, which I'm not gonna do right here for the sake of simplicity. We are just going to create it manually so I can show you what it looks like and how it works. So you come down here, we did one service throughout March. You can see it down here, internal notes, save invoice. The date sent, which it's not populated yet. Once I send it, you'll see the date right there. Payment due, let's say you want to get paid 7 days after you send the invoice, you do that. Or you can change it to net 15 days after the service, or net 30. Or maybe due upon receipt. We're gonna keep it at net 7 for right now. We're gonna scroll down, you still see the service, see the price. Maybe you want to do a client message, pick up the dog poop in the yard, you can put that right there. Whatever it is, any kind of message that you want to relay to the customer. Again, internal notes, that's what your customers, or that's what your team is going to see. Save and send as a text, send as an email. You could send this to the customer pretty easily all through Jobber. You don't have to, download this and then send it through your own text messaging. You can print this out. Let's say you still hand it to them on paper. It's an older customer. You want to print it out, you can do that as well. But we are going to send as a text, send as an email, or you can just go ahead. Let's say they went ahead and paid you. You can go ahead and hit collect payment. We're going to do that. Collect payment. So now, how do they pay? So did they do bank transfer, ACH? Maybe they gave you cash. Maybe they gave you a check, credit or debit card, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. You can record the way that they paid you right there. It says still awaiting payment because they haven't paid me yet. We're gonna say they gave me a check. Boom. So we got everything marked down, invoice number right there, address, the amount that they owe me, and you could save an email receipt. We're just gonna hit save. Boom. A payment of $58.30 from John Doe has been recorded. And it shows paid right there, that little icon. Scroll down a little bit, you can see everything else. Let me show you what this looks like from a customer's perspective. Like I said, it makes you look more professional. Let me show you what the actual invoice would look like on their end. Boom, you get your logo right there, Mike's Lawn Care Service, it's my company. Invoice number, person, the date, the due date, and it was paid, since I marked it paid, it was paid today. Scroll down, see the services, 6% sales tax, and receipt. Now we're gonna go back. And if you, let's say you need to go back and reopen an invoice, maybe you made a mistake or something happened, maybe you need to give them a discount, you can always reopen it with that right there. And guys, real quick, you can try out Jobber for yourself. There is a link in the description below. It is an exclusive discount code and a 14-day free trial. It just gives you time to play around with it on your own before you fully commit. So yeah, that is pretty much the basics of it. You know, collecting customer information, sending them a quote, scheduling the job and assigning it to a team, and all the other features that go into that, and then invoicing the client, and ultimately getting paid. And this is a very basic video showing all of this, and there's a lot more of the features on Jobber that I'm just showing right here, but these are the fundamental basics of it. This is gonna make you look more professional. This is gonna keep your employees, you know, on the same page as you, and it's gonna keep all of your customer information, whether it be invoices, quotes, schedule, all in the central location. That way you're not looking through this filing cabinet, looking through that filing cabinet, looking through this folder, trying to organize yourself. This just keeps it all in one central spot. Again, link in the description below if you want to try it out. There is a 14-day free trial. Highly recommend it. It's going to elevate any service-based business, whether you're lawn care or anything else in the service-based industry. Hopefully you guys have a good season coming up. We're going to hit the ground running, and we will see you guys in the next video.